What up, peeps? It's your girl Dash. Come back to your girl takes. Well, it's that time of you guys. It's reaction time, and this is to, of course, The Never Season 1, Episode 3, titled Ignition. Now, last week's episode was really good. A lot happening, a lot more information about a couple of characters, a little bit of a reveal. And a reveal I was not expecting so soon. That episode was really good. Knowing there's some backstory, between Melody and Amalia. Also, seeing what looked like to be a beginning of a little bit of interest between Penance and Augustus, but being somewhat short-lived, courtesy of his sister Lavinia intervening into it. Hugo wanting to utilize Augustus, socialite, stature, keeping certain people at bay. We know he's having issues in regards to others not wanting him to use the touched. Of course, what is it, Lord? I want to say it, Lord. Was it Lord Masson or Musin? Excuse me. Then also knowing that Lavinia actually was the individual involved with some of the touch being kidnapped and experimenting on. Not seeing that coming. So definitely a good episode. I was loving what I was seeing. I was just beyond hyped to see the next episodes with us. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Say the rest of my thoughts, and then you guys.
Tell the beggar king he's done on these docks. No payouts, no shipments. From here straight to Dicker's Wharf, Limehouse belongs to Bonfire Annie. He decides to argue the case or send anyone else to. There's not a shadow he can hide in. Quit Maddie because I was sick of riddles. We'd stop making money.
You know we're dying. Attached. We're being attacked, locked up, and thrown in the street. Not everyone got such a formidable turn. And it's getting worse. You have enemies you don't know about yet.
So I should hide with your sad little gaggle. I'm fine.
It's not fun. Watching you throw yourself at danger like you think it's gonna propose. Coming here to patch you up over and over.
It could be fun.
Amalia, we've been through this.
It was fun. It was more than fun.
Every night I...
You want me to sing so that more people will come here? Maybe I'm struggling because I don't know if they should.
I'm sorry I filed the papers, but I had to use up a lot of favors, and I can't help... of course I will. I'll set you free. Just give me time. And meanwhile, enjoy being in charge for a bit, because I have a meeting.
No, in charge?
Well, you don't have to audition anyone. Just look important. Say no a lot. Roma! Where the hell is my purple light? You sent me a pocket watch.
Can you get those fucking contracts filed now?
Sense that was his daughter.
We wasn't told what to expect. Pain and disgrace. But it's all right, because you expected it. So, what the fuck is Mrs. True up to now?
What is that noise?
Don't go near the dogs. They've gone rabid. Try around here.
Je ne comprends pas.
They're gonna find out about
Not
that
her
place.
address.
You know who I work with.
Everyone knows the beggar king has a doctor on call with healing hands. Yes, I know. This is true. But this ain't about her. It's about the gift she gave me.
And if I heal you, how do I know you won't?
I'll strike you down to get a Molly.
Mm.
If you're fretting on that, you two must be dear friends.
Amalia True? I do not believe she's only interested in giving the touch to save Haven. Do you?
No. Seeing the future, that ain't her whole story.
She has a purpose.
And now she has Mary. Why?
Next time you sing, you know, that kind of singing, I'd like to be there.
You know that only the touch can hear it.
Yeah, I thought I could at least just give it a go. People change. At the worst, I'll watch.
What about Mary Brighton? Is she doing her siren call or what have you?
I'm not sure. She's been struggling. We're doing the test this evening, in the park. If Mary can find her voice, we'll make sure it's heard.
It was so hard. It was so hard to hold her down like that because she didn't understand. It was splashing and struggling and trying to cry out. I could see it all because she made the water so clear. Like that. Lucy! Let go of me! Lucy! Lucy's turn came sudden. She didn't know she was touched till she lifted her baby boy up from his bassinet. 6 months old and the first person to ever love her back. And all his bones broke before he could even make a sound. I don't think she would hurt you. We are going to the park. I'm ready. Will this be working? Yes, Mum. Tell Inspector Manzi to come. Let everyone know.
Oh my God. So close. Oh, it's him. Little psychopath. Why'd she stay there? Oh my God. All right, you guys, this was a really good episode. Very, very suspenseful, very sad. Just a lot going on to the point where at the end I was really, really getting emotional on it. I'll first ask, and I'm just going to talk about some key things that just stand out to me. I really want to get a little bit more understanding of the relationship between Amalia and Dr. Cousins. Clearly, some things have transpired. Like I stated before from the first episode, we looked like we saw that he had a wife and child. We don't know his backstory yet. I feel like as time goes on, we'll see a little bit more about that because it seems like probably after he lost his family, it's a possibility, over time, the sting of that, whatever and all that, he might have, had a little maybe trace of some sort with Amalia, and I think so. I heard some of their wording to each other that was, said makes you wonder, especially when they were on the steps, and of course people could hear a certain person. Needless to say, I'm definitely intrigued with them because I caught that the first episode, the lingering touch, and I'm like, okay, there's some tension. Do you like each other? The extra stare down, so definitely want to know more about that. Also, the situation with Hugo and Augustus. Of course, Augustus, not sure how he feels. And of course, Hugo lying about, getting your documents straight, whatever. You're the boss, whichever, don't worry. They're sealed unbeknownst to him. He had not done it yet, but now he already feels like this. He wants to do it before, now that Augustus thinks like it's already done. So let's just, finish it up and wrap it up, whichever. Now, I'm really intrigued by, Lord Musson now because something is amiss with him a little bit. Definitely the serious tone, and we kind of understand now. First episode at the end, when I saw what I thought could be his granddaughter, but it was his daughter. It looks like he's lost his wife, and he definitely lost his daughter. But when the people were coming to put in the phone, you noticed that a man decided to, head down what looks like, lower part of the home, and you see him hearing something, and the woman who's, I'm assuming, probably his help within the home says, don't do that, that's the dogs, they've gone rabbit. Those are not no dogs. No, because there's a lot more going on. Something makes me think, and I'm just going to just say it, I think that possibly it could be his daughter locked up in there, and she could have a touch, and just could be, could have taken on a different toe. I could be a little far-fetched, but I'm really feeling like I'm not. I will say this, I definitely know it's not no animal in that room that's locked up. But I thought it was really interesting, especially the look on her face when she said, oh no, don't, let's go here. So I'm interested in that. And like I stated, I need a little bit more. Hopefully we'll see maybe a flashback of his wife and child again. And it'll put some more stuff into kind of like, a little bit more understanding as to what's really going on. Because overall, maybe his demeanor might have been a little bit more lighter before, but of course, losing family members, he definitely is just not here for the touch as if it was their fault. It came from the sky, but that's just I'm just saying. Also seeing the scenes of Annie talking with Amalia and Penis and just trying to see if she would come on board, and her not sure how she feels about that. She's not here for some of the things that Melody's doing, all the little comments and the gibberish, whatever, and all that, and just not staying focused, so as she stated before in the season in episode 2, she doesn't do dumb. So it's clearly she probably has an agenda too. So, hopefully, and then knowing that the character played by Nick Frost, I cannot remember his name right now, excuse me for that, clearly was not too happy with the bonfire she left. And literally, you see the scene of what he did. It's just like the graphicness of it all. His followers was not loyal and weren't loyal enough. This is what he will do. I'm glad we get to see. I want to see the tough, I want to see the toughness in him. So at least we know he has it in him. If you cross him, this is what could happen. Also enjoying seeing that the poster, when we see where the girl went from last episode, you see that definitely was a decoy place they used. The woman opened it up, making herself look, so, welcoming, and the girl thinking she was, there to help her in her aid, and unbeknownst to her. So I'm glad that we got to see that little scene. I love how Amalia, kicked into high gear and, put that guy down, took the information. But what's interesting to me, of course, she has to play her part, and I'm talking about Lavinia. Lavinia is always knee deep in this. She's like, what do you want to do? Whatever and all that. I'm not sure, we need to find out who owns it, whatever. Well, maybe I can find out information. Yeah, I bet you could. Why don't you just tell her it's you? Because I bet you it belongs to her. She probably has it off the books or whatever. So, I want Desiree in the room with her so bad where she will slip. So that's just my wishful thinking. I almost pray it does happen because she's getting Amalia and Pennis, all of them, they're getting close, and she probably will get revealed soon enough. It might be closer towards the end of the season, but yeah, her having that book, seeing as she uses them for experiments, putting their faces in there, probably whatever their touch was. So you have like a breakdown of who the person is. I'm just like, oh, you keep all the details. Like, why would you even keep that somewhere like that in there to begin with? That right there was a dumb move, but okay. Um, that's really interesting, but I like it because I love that we're getting a little bit more early on, whatever, so it progresses with the storyline and it just keeps it moving, which is nice because lots of shows make you wait towards the end. So you know what? I'm happy for that. I will say also I enjoyed Mary talking to Nick and revealing a little bit with him, even though he did meet with Hugo before. It seems like um, it's certain things about himself he does not want to embrace, hence, knowing that him and Hugo had probably a moment and he was like, I was drunk, I was pissy drunk, whichever. And of course, when he walks to Hugo's like, it was more than once. So, and I'm assuming now from what Mary says, clearly, him not wanting to embrace that side of him, whichever. And all, and she's like, I always care about you. I know you always be there for me. Something happens, or just to be there for me. Period. And of course, with that, him going to see her because she's not sure about her song. She doesn't want to feel like she's being used. That's what she felt in, the moment where I could see like, okay, what are you getting at? You're asking Amalia all these questions, she's like, what are you hiding? You're lying, this. And it's just like, okay, a little bit of, standoffish between the two. And I understand she doesn't want to feel like her song is being, used, in a way for some sort of agenda or purpose, whichever. And certain things do end up happening when they grab the woman who was in the decoy place and she is asked to speak up. Mary really sees a certain, situation of, the unraveling of this woman going through what she went through with her child and how she treated her child when she knew her child was touched. And then one of the other ladies, having a moment, and having to kind of, catch herself. Mary really decides she's going to go ahead and sing the song, and she's going to let Pennis use I want to say, what does she call it? Her brighter or something she called it. I can't remember the name, but like an amplifier, which, as know. So that was really a nice little moment where she realized this is for the greater good, which, to have the song played amongst. And of course, I love when Nick was like, I would love to be there, even though he probably can't hear it, but he can see probably the effects of it. So you see another scene that was really intense, with Amalia after she's leaving Lavinia to go back, to the girls to meet up so they can, prep, for what's considered a test with Mary. And she comes across some man who's walking on water, literally, figuratively. And that whole scene was just beyond epic, whichever. I mean, just unreal, but I was here for it. Seeing Mary sing was so beautiful, and I love that Nick got to see it, and some of the people, around hearing it far away and its effect on them. But the scene at the end, just oh my goodness. And that scene with Mary definitely came from the simple fact of Melody. There's no one else who probably played a part in that whole situation. And speaking of Melody having a moment with Dr. Cousins to help her from her bullet wound and just her feelings about, him, seeing if he knows her and if he knows really about Amalia and just a whole bunch of stuff, there. That's why I feel like they definitely go back. I don't know if she was in the hospital with Melody. Like I said, there's more layers to their story that we don't know, and hopefully we'll learn a little bit more. I don't think Amalia told Pennis everything she might know. We just haven't seen them discuss it in more detail, but it might come up now. And it will be very, very interesting how that actually goes. So I didn't want to get too much into that, but this was a very good episode, very intense episode, definitely towards the end, and it became so intense. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to the next episode. I'm loving what I'm seeing. It truly has me intrigued, engaged fully. So again, you guys, comment below. Let me know what you think. And with that said, I'll see you guys in the next reaction. You guys take care.